Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am Malinga Sise of Urban Harvest Organic Farm. For all of you who have subscribed to my YouTube channel, I am so happy. Thank you so much for supporting me. May God bless you all. Today I want us to look at something very important in this poultry project, and I think I've never talked about it in this YouTube channel, but this is something really super important in this project, and if we don't manage it well, we can end up even closing down the farm, and that is waste management, or that is litter management, especially for us who are in the deep litter system. Okay, I don't want to talk about cages because I've not tried cages before, but I want to talk about the deep litter system, because here we are using litter whereby we put the beddings for the birds and we remove it after some time. So I want us today to look at it. I know most of you might have come across it, most of you might have watched videos about it, but I'm super much aware that some of us do not know about litter management, because this morning someone asked me, she said, how often do you clean the poultry farm? Are you supposed to clean it every day, or how often? So I just thought of coming up and let us know how we have to manage this litter. For some of you who are new and planning to start this project, you must know how to manage litter in your poultry farm. Okay, so please, for today, let's stay tuned till the end. But if you're still new, please consider subscribing to the YouTube channel, click on the notification bell, share this video, drop a comment or any question in the comment section, and Sister will be gladly waiting to answer all your questions or to reply back. So please stay tuned till the end, and I'll be right back. So today I want us to talk about this litter in our poultry farms, and you can see I've sat down with the birds. By the way, the birds are really doing super well. They have grown, you can see they are soon starting to lay. Okay, so that means what we are doing is really, we are doing the right thing. You can see our birds are really doing super well, and I want to thank all of you who has been following me from the first day we brought in this bird. So when we talk about the deep litter system, it's the system whereby the birds are down like this, just the way you see, and you put the bedding down whereby they can sleep, they can scratch, they can, so this is what we call the deep litter system. We also have the cages, but I've not tried cages before, and we also have the free range system. Okay, but here in the layers I'm using the deep litter system, and in this deep litter system what I use as beddings is the coffee husk. Okay, and this is what we call the coffee husk. Some people use the wood shavings, but personally me, I prefer using the coffee husk. I will tell you why. And some people have asked me several times, can you also use the rice husk? Yes, if the rice husk is there, you can also use the rice husk, but here for me I use the coffee husk. And this coffee husk, if you're putting in the poultry farm or in the poultry house, we have been advised several times. I've attended some of these seminars, and they say whenever you're putting the bedding for the birds, make sure it is at least 4 to 6 inches. Okay, 4 to 6 inches from the ground. That means when you put your fingers like this, you can see down here should be very deep, and it is very important that it should be like that. Why? First of all, these birds, they scratch a lot down, and so if it is not enough down there, you find that they will scratch even down in the floor. And that's why some farms, if you enter there, you find that their floors and their grounds are really so much scratch. You find that those farmers do not put enough beddings in the poultry house. And then another thing that you must know is that this bedding here also, if you don't put it enough, it can lead sicknesses into your farm, because first of all, it also has ammonia in it, and if the birds scratch it up to down and it gets in contact with the birds, that is where the birds also get the sicknesses. They can get a lot of infection. So please, the beddings must be enough in your poultry farm. Now, like for me here, I managed to put 30 bags. I remember in the beginning when we were shifting these birds, I showed you I brought in 30 bags of coffee husk in this farm, and that is why you see I can sit down comfortably with my birds, and even down is really so deep. The birds are playing well, they are scratching comfortably. So please, do not hesitate to spend on the coffee on the beddings of your birds. And then one thing that you must know, you should avoid the house which is wet. Okay, when I said avoid the house which is wet, first of all, the roofing must be well planned and well roofed in a way that it should not be leaking down. That if it keeps leaking, that is when it keeps on wetting the house. And when the poultry house is wet, that is when diseases like diarrhea will come in. Diseases like coccidiosis, actually coccidiosis #1, that will come in to disturb you in your poultry farm, and that will lower the production of your birds, and you will end up closing down your farm, crying that poultry farming is not a good venture. So always make sure that when you're doing the roofing of your house, make sure it is roofed in a way that there is no leakage. Also, another thing that I have done, I've managed that to do like where I'm putting the feeders, I'm not attaching it direct to the woods that was made with the iron sheets. I've decided to put different logs or woods to tie in my feeders. In that way, because these feeders also, they pull down the roof. Because in my previous birds, even in the other house where I destroyed last time, you find that because of putting the feeders straight to the woods that have been attached to the roof, to the iron sheet, it keeps on pulling it down. With time, the house will start leaking. When it is raining, you find the whole house has water, and that is not good for the chicken house. It will end up having a lot of smell. It will end up giving coccidiosis to the birds, and with the layers, they will end up not laying well. And then also another thing is when you're putting the water, make sure that you put your drinkers in a way that they do not keep pouring water in the poultry house. For me here, I've managed to construct somewhere like the way you can see how I've managed to put it. I put the water there, and I've decided to put bricks around it in case maybe if by mistake the water is pouring, to not pour directly down where the birds will get in contact with it, to just enter in between those bricks, and that will also not be so bad. It will not wet the house. Another thing that you must know is personally, me here, I always remove these beddings after like 4 to 6 months, because if you put enough, just like at least like 4, if now the money is not enough, put 4 inches of it down there. Put it enough that even you yourself, you really feel it, that it is really enough. When you put it enough, you find that you don't always keep on changing the bedding. In fact, me here, I change the beddings like after 4 months or 6 months. That is when you will end up changing the beddings, okay? Because if it is enough, the birds will be there. Even the poop will keep mixing with the coffee husk or with the bedding, and to keep on drying us. So always make sure that the beddings is enough for these birds to enjoy. And then also another thing is when, let's say, we sell off these birds, okay, when you sell off your birds, do not bring another new birds into the same beddings that you've been using. Whenever you sell off this flock, make sure that you also remove the beddings, disinfect the house, and you also bring in new beddings. Beddings are not supposed to be repeated from this or carried on from this flock to another flock. Whenever you're selling off the birds, sell off the birds, remove also the beddings, and let it go and bring in new beddings. Okay, so another thing that you must know is that like for broilers, those who are doing broiler farming, personally I started with broilers, and I quitted it and came to layers. But with broilers, there's a way their poop is too watery, especially if for people who are not using the Bavanite, which I showed you in one of my videos. The poop is really so wet, and so it ends up making the house typically very wet. So for the broilers, you have to regularly keep changing the beddings, okay? But also, if you put enough, sometimes you'll end up using the same beddings from day one till you sell off those birds. Because for the broilers, sometimes you keep it for only 4 weeks or even 6 weeks. Some people keep it up to 2 months, okay? And so for broilers also, the broiler farmers, make sure that you also take note of that. And then me, why I use coffee husk, normally when I remove these beddings or this manure from the chicken house, I have people who will always buy it and take to the farms. But I've had very stubborn buyers whereby they do not need the manure which has been which is for wood shavings. They always tell me, they first ask, is it, actually even when you call them, they will ask you that well, have you put their coffee husk inside the chicken house, or you've put wood shavings? If you say wood shavings, they will end up not coming to buy the manure. But if you put coffee husk, that is when they will come running. So that is why me here, I normally use the coffee husk. And please, if you want those people to buy your manure anywhere, actually for us in Uganda, they normally buy, actually a bag goes for 12,000 Ugandan shillings. But if it is wet or if it is caked, they will end up buying it very cheaply, but even after a lot of complaints. So that's why I always say, that is why I'm trying to tell you that please, let's manage our litter very well. And then another thing that you must avoid in the poultry house is avoid the caking of this litter. Why I say it so is that, you see, these birds sometimes they tend to be in one direction, especially when now the time for when they are going now to sleep. You find that there's this one particular corner. There's this one particular corner where most of the birds will go there and pile there and sleep from there. So that's where they poop a lot, and at the end it keeps on caking. So as a farmer, always come into your poultry house, check areas which are caked, try to scatter it. You can use your hands, you can use your legs, you can even use a rake or a hoe and try to scatter it. And actually it is very easy when the beddings, if you put enough coffee husk or wood shavings in the house. So as a farmer, those are things that I feel like you should know it, and that will help our farms to grow. And then what else do I need to tell you? I think for today, that's all I had for you. So don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel, click on the notification bell, and if you find this video useful, please give a like to the video, drop a comment in the comment section down below. Don't forget to tell me which country you're watching me from, and Sisa will be smiling. So see you next time. Bye bye.